Hey guys, it's Roxanne from RoxanneLynch.com. Hey, how's it going in your neck of the woods today? Okay. This is a tough subject to talk about. Being full of fear, being absolutely terrified, being scared, but somehow finding the way to doing what we want to do, saying what we want to say, feeling what we want to feel, act how we want to act, behave how we want to behave. How do we do that in spite of the fear, in spite of being terrified, in spite of not even really sure how we should be doing or not doing something within, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's, obviously within network marketing. There's so many things that we are scared about that are actually hindering the achieving of certain goals, certain dreams and hopes and wishes. Okay, so let's pop into this tonight. You guys know that my name is Roxanne Lynch. I live way up here in West Central Alberta, Canada. So if you were to drive about 9 hours north of the Montana-Idaho border and then like head slightly, to your left, you're gonna run into me, okay? And this is what I love to do. You guys know that, adding inspiration, adding thought, creativity, positivity, inspiring, encouraging, empowering women within network marketing, within our brains and within our hearts, and sometimes really tackling some tough topics because I just know that there's enough success and sunshine out there for everybody. So whether you're within my amazing team, within social retail, or your own beloved business out there, there's enough goodness out there for all of us. So I want to share some of these ideas. So, the thing is, I want to share a short story that my mom actually taught me, because I remember being a little girl, and sometimes it was my job on the school bus to tell the other kids, they would tell their parents that there was going to be a house party, because house parties were really big in the 70s, remember? Or maybe you don't remember, but they were really big and everyone would have a really good time. Sometimes, money was snug, so we would all get together at houses and play records and we would dance, and there would be like food all night long going on and lots of great conversations inside the house, outside the house, just amazing fun times. And I remember telling my mom, it's like, well, but Mr. Robinson, he's, I know he's working. Amber told me he's working. And Mom would always say, Roxanne, it's not our job not to invite people to the party. Okay, that's not our job. It's not our job to decide whether Mr. Robinson has to work the next morning or not. It's our job to invite him. And I don't care if, Mr. Elderly happens to be really sick, or his wife's not feeling good, or his kids are ill. It's our job to invite people to the party. Okay, it's not our job to disclude anybody, or not want to make everybody feel welcome to what is going on within our world. And so I fast forward that within network marketing and the prospecting ideas, and I try to remember those sayings, because ultimately we have these assumptions in our brains. Would you guys agree that we have assumptions in our brains? Some things are possible fact assumptions, and some things are like limiting, like self-belief things, like thinking things that, they're just going to think that I'm stupid, or, if I do a live video, they're going to laugh, or they might say no, it might fail. I might stumble over my words and not being able to explain things properly. It's going to be difficult. If I do this, it's never going to be the same again. If I do this, nothing's going to change anyway. I am stupid. I don't have the right words. I'm not worthy of good outcomes. Like, I can't handle it. I'm trapped. I'm stuck. I've been doing this for this many years and nothing's changed. I can't make a difference. All these things rumble through our brains, and it's really, really makes it difficult when we're feeling terrified, when we have that fear, when we have these beliefs within ourselves, whether they're our personal experiences and perceptions, or instilled on that by our loved ones, or a best friend who has gone through maybe a similar experience. We adopt their beliefs. So there's a couple things of how we can break through that. I want to share at least 2 or 3, okay? So the very first thing is, if we're feeling fear about conversing with friends and family and prospective teammates, it's an indication that perhaps you haven't built enough rapport with that person. Maybe you haven't built enough of a connection with them, a deep enough relationship so they can kind of relate to you, that know, like, and trust factor that we're used to, okay? So, you know, maybe they're not sure how, or even you're not sure how you could be of service to them or help them or be the answer to that, giving that solution to that struggle or that need or that want that they might have. So that's the first one, is like, if you're feeling those kind of fears, some of it might be the rapport building. Maybe, and you'll know this in your heart, like you'll know when you go to think about this person, whether that is a real fear of possible limiting assumptions within ourselves, or you just know that you're rushing it and you haven't built up that rapport, you haven't built up that connection, okay? So, because sometimes we place all that fear about the worries of those goals and plans within ourselves not yet achieved, like, oh, I can't go talk to this person until this happens in my life first, you know, because maybe that they're on your chicken list, you know, maybe we have those fears about those no's before the conversations ever even get started, and we stop ourselves in our brains. So the next tip I want to leave you guys is, and there's one more after this, I promise, is when it comes to building up your credibility, your influence, your visibility using social media, you can build that like factor, that connection factor, by just really being you online, okay? Being you in all forms, in your imaging, in the words that you use, in the voice clips that you send, in how you show up, whether you're using images, you're using live video, making sure that it's the real, authentic you. Sharing the good stuff in your life, but also sharing the wild and crazy, and sometimes the sad, okay? Because no one's life is 100% perfect, okay? Like not even Barbie and Ken's life was 100% perfect, right? So when we show up with the real us, all of our little broken bits can make those connection factors, okay? A perfect stone can't really meet the minds, but when we're all sharing little broken bits of ourselves, the little facets of our lives online, and we take off that mask of perfection to make that deeper connection, it allows people to really feel your story. Like my girlfriend Bobby, she shared a story about some of the pains and the trials and tribulations that she's been going through over the years. And I almost started crying because I could imagine myself in her shoes of how upset that she was that her friends and family were avoiding her phone calls and avoiding her at the grocery stores. And my heart just went out to her because I've been there. I've been there, and it hurts and it stings, okay? So you have to be able to start building the real authentic you online. And, you know, stop pussyfooting around, like share the good and the bad and the ugly, okay? So the second tip is grow your know factor by sharing a variety of those posts, serving different audience types, because some people are audio, like they like to listen. And, you know, that's important that they can hear the nuances of your voices. They can hear the connection, your feelings, your emotions of what is going on. So it's really important that you, if you haven't been doing live video, you got to start, okay? I can't tell you how much my business has grown because I started to do live video and I embraced the suck. And I got over it and I got better. And people say, well, Roxanne, you do really great, amazing videos. I have been doing a video almost every single bloody day since the fall of 2015, okay? I should be getting better, you know, I should be getting better. So if you think about that, also making sure that you share stories, you write some long posts, you do some short posts, you use images, you share aspects of your life, okay? So you can build that connection by, you know, sharing fun stuff, share educational stuff, share like the wild and woolly stuff that's going on in your life. Tips and tricks. If you learned something in a video yesterday from a training call or a webinar, or even in something in your chats within your team, share it out there. Build that trust, build that connection, and of course, consistency. Do what you say you're gonna do. Build that trust factor by if you tell a person, it's like, hey, Bobby, you know, thanks for being open to having a look at what I do. I promise I will circle back and I'll follow up with you, you know, in about 24, 36 hours, depending on how crazy our life gets. I'm not going to forget because I'm actually going to write it down. I remember, and Bobby knows that I've written it down, so she's expecting me to follow up with her. So that really makes it a lot easier. And of course, I'm never going to break a promise. If I promise a woman I'm going to do something, I do my darndest to do that, right? So that builds that trust because you're consistent. Same thing with building our businesses online. You can't show up steadfast for 5 days and then be gone for 2 weeks and then come back for 3 and then be gone for 10. You have to build that rapport and that relationship, that trust with consistency by showing up, you know, often, like at least once a day. So the last tip, and I wrote this down because I want to go back to talk about those possible assumptions that we have in our brain. These things that we're thinking about that slow us down, thinking about like, I am stupid, or they're just going to laugh at me, or they're going to say no anyway. So I actually wrote it down on a sticky note so I can say it right and I won't forget it. So I'm going to use the one talking about live videos. So a lot of people won't do live videos because they're scared of what other people are going to laugh at them, or, you know, or they're not going to get any views. So if I was to say the words to myself, if I knew they weren't going to laugh at me to do my live video, then I would say, or I would do, or I would act and behave this way. Then I would show up. If I knew my friends weren't going to laugh at me when I go to do my live video, this is how I would do it. And this is what I would say. If I knew that they weren't going to say no to the possibility that they would have a peekaboo at what is going on within my business, this is how I would present it. Okay. So if I knew that I couldn't fail and everything was possible, this is how I would act, or this is how I would behave, or this is how I would show up in the world. Okay. If I believed that I wasn't stupid, then this is what I would say, or this is what I would do, and this is how I would behave. If I believe that I truly was worthy of these activities, how would I behave in my business? How would I communicate? What would I say? What would I do? So if you turn all those limiting beliefs, those limiting assumptions, by saying, if I knew they wouldn't, or if I knew I wasn't, this is what I would do, say, and do, and behave. Our team right now is in day, oh my gosh, day 10, basically day 10 of our 90-day run and our 30-day prospecting blitz. I know myself, I have pushed myself way beyond my comfort zone of ever before. And I have been in social retail now almost 2 years, and I still struggle sometimes having possible fact assumptions. I sometimes still assume negative things within my brain. I have, you know, self-perception ideas that aren't true, but I think they are, and they've been slowing me down. And I know that they've been slowing my team down, but you would not believe the activity level that is happening within our businesses. You know, those dog days of summer right now for my girls are just going to blow it out of the water because we are pushing the comfort zone. We are terrified, but we're acting. We are scared, but we're doing it anyway. We're full of fear, but we're finding a way to get it done. We are crazy busy uplifting and empowering each other in three-way chats. If one person doesn't have the right answer, then we can reach out and we can ask somebody else. We let the tools do the talking, and we allow our leaders to help edify and leverage and celebrate us. And I absolutely love that. Okay. So the success stories are popping out left, right, and center. You know, I'm just so proud of these women that have found a way to act despite of the fear. And remembering that, like Mom says, it's not our job not to invite everybody to the party, okay? And we can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and we can never say the right thing to the wrong person. It goes both ways. So, you know, don't fret. You know, it doesn't matter how you present it, how you share it. If it's the right person, they're going to grab a hold of it. They're going to understand it. When we are using the systems and the tools that social retail has that are above and beyond the norm of the old school methods. So I'm just like I said, I just got to give a cheer out to my team and my sisters, my side sisters, and my upline, and so much appreciation, because there's just so much goodness going on, and I really can't be more pleased for them. So if you guys want more information about what's going on, hopefully you guys found some goodness within my sharings tonight. Sorry, I got a little emotional there. But yeah, I can connect. I can connect with women that have had a really tough time, and I love an underdog. Nothing gives me greater joy than to cheer an underdog, because that is my superpower, is being a cheerleader for other women, and nothing gives me greater joy than to see them fly. So if you've been banging your head on the keyboard and you don't know what the heck social retail is, you got to send me a private message, because you got to be on the inside, or you got to know what's going on, sister. Okay? Yeah, because it's just really too good to not share. All right? You girls and guys have a fabulous evening, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow on the sunny side of life.